So I had a really good idea of how to, a way to teach this and actually do a report at the same time. And I thought what I could do is an energy read for the week as a question. So a sort of a collective a message about the collective energy or the astrological energies that are going on for this week of August 24th. And so that I'll use as a platform to demonstrate my grid. All right, so calling in highest guides and angels. By the way, I always call in highest guides into the read, the highest frequency energy spirits available to be in this read so that we may be higher guided. Thank you, Spirit. And then we're going to ask about the energies of the week of August 24th, 2020. All right, Spirit, thank you. 1, 2. Now, I explained in video number 1 and 2 a little bit more about what I'm doing, so if you are confused, I suggest you go and listen to those videos. This is going to be lesson number 3, class number 3, and I'm going to explain the third grid, but I'm also going to go ahead and do a whole grid. The fourth grid, the fourth line is really just sort of it's sort of just kind of, shall we say, clarifies the entire read. It's kind of what I call a kind of an outcome section of the read, or loosey-goosey in the sense that you can finish off the story with it. It can also be what's coming down the energies, what's coming down the 5D, what's going to materialize as this story unfolds. Bottom of the deck is 8 of Pentacles, which is great. That's Virgo. We have the sun just going into Virgo, so that might be why it's saying that. So the reason I look at the bottom of the card is it tells me where we're headed with the story. This is going to be a story that involves a financial, this story is going to take us to a place of understanding how to be more financially independent and how to attract more abundance. And like I say, we always start the read off with the situation. The situation is the Hermit, so that indicates we're beginning the read here with a collective energy of people possibly feeling isolated and alone, and a little, not necessarily in a positive way because it's out of alignment. See, when I've never been wrong. When I get this card as the first card in my read and it's facing out of alignment, remember I was explaining alignment. This is out of alignment too in the read, and I'll explain that when we get to that card. But anyway, on the whole, I would say the collective is experiencing a feeling of isolation, which is sort of understandable with this lockdown. Then we've got the Chariot coming in the second spot, which is the thoughts. Your thoughts around this is wanting to go forward. There's a desire to sort of, it's almost like people think, oh, but I'm balanced and I understand how to use both of my energies. I'm ready to take things forward. But the universe says the reason that, now this is out of alignment, right? The reason that things are turned away. Now this card to me always represents getting a better handle on a creativity or a plan or a passionate beginning. It's sort of like work. It's sort of like figuring out exactly how you want to take something forward because it's out of alignment, which means this is energy that's still turned out of alignment as the person becomes more understanding of what they really desire, desire, and it's hitting in the third part of the read. So the reason that there's been isolation is so that you would become better knowing of what you truly want, how you're going to take things forward in a way that's very inspiring and exciting, because now that's the end of that's the fourth card, which is what I call the loosey-goosey card, or the sentence finishing card. So the situation the situation in this read is about feeling isolated, separated, and wanting to take things forward, wanting to go forward but the universe is saying this is stalled so that you become better acquainted with what really ignites you and what's really your truest desire. Okay, both wands here, desire. Now we're going to go to the next section of the read. Next time I'm going to use my other I have another table I'm going to use. And this is about, now this is, we're going to the fifth card, which is the heart section. So I'm going to say, because remember the bottom of the deck, we had the Eight of Pentacles, and now we get the Nine of Pentacles. Now we get the King of Pentacles. So there's like a desire to take things financially forward in a way that's in alignment with your heart space. And now we get head-heart alignment. And then we're looking for now Taurus, Capricorn. So we're looking at a secure, this is head-heart. This is like safety, walls, a sense of, shall we say, protection. So a way to make money. Capricorn, Taurus, earth sign means security, grounding from the heart space. So there's isolation going on in people's lives so that they become acquainted with a way that is deep in their heart to create a security and stability in their life that makes them feel safe, but also is aligning with the truth. Okay, so that was the heart section and the head section. Let me get this. This is the bottom row. All right, sometimes this happens. I'm going to take this back. Okay, take this. That's the next row down. And now we get the Ten of Pentacles saying, what does the divine want you to know about what's in emotion? That what's emotional is that this stall that's going on is actually going to take you to the more abundant path. You just still have a transformation, a mental transformation, or limited perceptions, or some kind of a transformation is occurring in you to align in order to align you with divine will, because anything that lands in the third section of the read, or the third column, is divine will. So how does divine want you to process this? Seek what you truly desire. Go after your wish, because this is in the third now. Remember, I'm explaining the third row, which is I lost count. Let's see, 8, 9th card, which is what does the divine want you to feel. Remember, the third card at the top is what does God want you to know. This one is what God wants you to feel emotionally, how God wants you to process this emotionally. And by the way, 3 in numerology, I mean not numerology, but I've studied a lot of number meanings in historical documents and in religious texts, and 3 usually means the invitation of God. It means bringing in the third element, which is the divine light, the divine element, in order to materialize, to bring things to a 4, which is the materialization into the physical, into a structured level. So why did I get on that? The number 3. Oh, because 3 divine. So when you're doing a card read, you're inviting in higher knowledge. If you don't believe in God, that's fine, but you're inviting in a higher perception, a higher consciousness around this issue that pulls you out of the box and into a higher frame of thinking about it. So 3 invites in the higher realms, invites in a divine presence, the angelic, or however you want to look at it. But from the higher realms, the message is that make yourself happy. Do what makes you happy, and don't argue. Don't fight, because awakening is a happening here in all this time. And then we get the 4th row down, which I just want to look at. Mental. This is hitting in my so I don't know, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 11th card, by the way. The most important thing divine wants you to know is perhaps there is conflict coming in. I know there's some challenging squares in the astrology this week, so on Monday. So perhaps, and I get the King of Swords, which is be firm, make a decision, or it could also be the end of confusion, the end of conflict, because People are awakening. So confusion might be ending this week around this situation that has been, that you felt isolated. And then we get this last row, which is the divine wants you to know that your lack mentality, there's a that the lack mentality. Let me see how this, because I'm reading it backwards. The lack mentality. Yeah. So leaving, possibly travel, but also leaving troubled waters behind. You have consciousness of lack, whether in self or fears of rejection, but we'll see what that means in the rest of the card. Saving money or holding back, and then we get that fire sign feminine. So that would be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So how does that fill in on the story? I would say that we are looking at transferring, because we had all these really abundant cards, and then we get the Nine of Pentacles at the end. So what that's saying is, by making yourself happy, you're going to end your confusion. You're going to have realizations that you hold lack mentality around something around this issue that's holding you back. So in other words, that's holding you back from being your full creative fire sign feminine, which is then going to attract in abundance. So I hope I haven't abandoned the grid class. So where was that? Okay, so this is the third row, which is the divine row. So let me explain that. God wants you to do what makes you really, really happy. You see this picture, this man is happy. Make yourself content. You may have to make a decision, but also there may be conflict involved. So a decision around conflict, which you're going to have to deal with the right way, and not conflict. Instead, take a higher road, higher perspective on it all, and realize that you have been lack mentality has been holding you back from being a creative force that you are, that is here to attract effortlessly abundance. And again, this card representing travel or leaving emotionally unstable waters because this is in the head section. This is because of holding lack mentality, which is making you hold. God wants you to know, because this was hitting in the divine section underneath the conflict card, that the confusion is that you have lack mentality of self and in the universe holding you, which has been holding you back, and also creating confusion in the energies of that which you desire. So in other words, you're going to be aligned with something you truly desire that has not materialized for you because you've been confused because of not having trust in the universe and believing in yourself as a force in the universe. But this is being transformed, and that's transforming in these energies to raise you to a higher frequency that can allow in more abundance. And that's why we end the read with the Knight of Pentacles. So thank you for watching. I hope that was clear. That is the read for the week of August 24th. So let's see if that resonates for you all. All right. Thanks for watching. Namaste.